Good evening, everyone. We have everybody muted. We're expecting a lot of people, so you guys will have a lot of questions. My wife Nesreen is here to assist. So if you guys want to type your questions in the chat, and if we have some time towards the end of this presentation, we're going to try to keep it to about an hour. If you have some time afterwards, we can open it up for a Q&A. Most of you guys have our numbers, you guys have our websites. I'll share all that information with you and we will answer all of your questions. So thank you so much for taking the time today. My name is Edwin Ovagarian. My wife Nesreen Karam and I are the owners of Taj Investment Group, Taj Innovations as well. We are powered by Strata International Group, an Arizona-based company that is in construction and they possess ICR codes that allows them to build any kind of a construction using an innovative method. So which we'll go over. So um, let me share my screen and we'll get started here. All right. Okay, so SAPS technology is I got ahead of myself. I'm sorry, guys. So SAPS technology is it's not new. They've been around for 25 years. They are certified. It's the only non-traditional construction company that possesses this ESR 1638 code, which is ICC is International Code Council, which is an organization that writes the codes for all municipalities worldwide, actually, to be able to they reference their codes too. So if you guys Google or search this ESR 1638, you'll notice that it's been updated in 2024. Uh, in addition to that, they have all the California supplements because of the earthquakes and fires, Florida supplements, and the city of Los Angeles supplements, which is one of the most difficult jurisdictions to be able to build and get permits to build any kind of a housing. So, SAP's technology again was created by Strata International 25 years ago. They have built over 200 structures since all over the world, which we'll discuss. My wife and I, we started this company with the hopes of being able to create a solution to the housing crisis that the city of Los Angeles is now facing with all the homelessness and also affordable housing. We never imagined in a million years that we would be sitting here and try to rebuild over 10,000 homes more efficiently. Also being able to utilize the material to build, so this will never ever happen again. So I'll jump right into the presentation. The presentation is fairly long, so I'm going to be fast forwarding through most of this stuff. Again, if you guys have any questions, please put it in the chat. My wife Nesrin will answer all the questions on the spot. Also, I'll share our website. You guys can go on there and put your information. We'll call you directly and give you and do a one-on-one presentation. So here we go. All right, what is SAPS? SAPS is consists of three phases. The foam phase, which is type 2 1.5 pound foam walls that replace the traditional stick wood framing insulation the mesh that goes in the walls and also the drywall. So the structure goes up as a foam structure. And the second phase is a proprietary concrete, which is called Sapscrete, which is consists of regular concrete with resin and also fibers that makes the unit pretty much indestructible. Once the unit is completed, the last phase, the house looks just a regular traditional built house. These houses are built on regular foundations. So all the insurance companies, the banks for purchases and refinancing purposes all consider this build as a standard traditional build, but a newer technology. Some of the benefits that SABS technology offers is first and foremost is a seismic performance. Uh, the structure is rated for a level F rating, seismic rating, which is the highest rating, which exceeds 9.0 earthquake Richter scale on the Richter scale, which is extremely important. A lot of houses, a lot of homeowners don't have earthquake insurance. And as we all know, we're sitting on the earthquake fault anywhere in Los Angeles. The 1994 earthquakes that all the structures fell apart. So the structure, the way it's built and engineered, will withstand earthquake of 9.0 on a Richter scale. Fire resistance. The concrete, essentially, the house is being built as a concrete structure. I'm sure you guys all have been following the news. The house on Malibu, right off the PCH, that survived the fires, was built on concrete blocks. So essentially, this product mimics that idea, but at a much lighter and a much affordable scale. It has a 0% fire spread rating. What that means is if any kind of the foam piece, which is not exposed, will be exposed to fire, it will not spread, which I have a video to present to you guys in a minute here too. Moisture resistance. Foam is extremely resistant to moisture, so there will be no mold or mildew issue on these structures. Cost effective. Using our technology, it's 15 to 30% cheaper to build. It's quicker to build. It takes less trades. Um, Typically speaking, a four-man crew can erect uh, above the foundation about a 1,500 square foot house in about 4 weeks' time. So it's quick, it's fast, it's efficient, it's energy efficient. The R rating on these foam panels is about 100, which a typical house, our value rating is about 35. The structure goes through a wind tunnel testing on a computer, which withstands winds up to 260 miles an hour. Category 4 hurricane winds are up to 180 miles an hour. So that's a great benefit for this kind of a material. Um, the foam, it's basically air. It is 96% air. Very small pieces of plastic is used to build these foam panels. Um, it's your imagination is your limitation because it's foam and the way we cut it using hot knives. You can design a house, you can design any kind of a structure, furniture to anything that your imagination allows you to. We have some finished products that I'm going to show you here. A few houses that were circular houses. It is very easy to achieve these dimensions using a foam instead of a wood or any kind of a other building material. It's lightweight. The biggest panel piece is 25 pounds. So on a construction site, it's very, very quiet. There's no cutting. There's no forklifts. There's no cranes that are needed to build these structures. Um, it's a sound insulation, just like a recording studio. It's 52 plus on the STC rating. It makes it very, very quiet inside from the outside noise, depending on where your house is situated. It makes it very, very quiet. Um, the installation is fairly simple. Um, Most of you guys on this call are either have lost your house, sorry for your loss, know someone that lost their house, and or is a contractor that is interested in learning how to be certified to use this technology. It is nothing like you've done before. It's extremely simple and it's extremely durable. The ICC has given this kind of a technology or structure 200-year lifespan. That means the structure will not go anywhere for the next 200 years. A traditional stick-built house has a lifespan of 50 to 75 years. Um, Scalability, we building houses 10, 15, 20 is one thing, but to be able to scale and start building communities, this is the only way that this could be achieved. Um, the panels can be all the panels come pre-cut. Doing multiple projects, it could be CNC'd. All the channeling can be cut for the electrical and the wiring, which I'll demonstrate to you guys on a short video that we have coming up. So it's extremely easily scalable to be able to do multi-family structures and communities. There's hardly any waste. It's on this product. The foam, although it's not being recycled right now, it's 100% recyclable. So essentially, entire house, when it's said and done, if you want to demolish it 100 years from now, it could be recycled and made into more foam and more concrete. So this is about a 6-minute video. I'm gonna speak over it as we go. Everything is made in the United States. Nothing is imported. The company that makes our proprietary concrete bags is located in Arizona. They come in 50-pound bags, just like a regular concrete. All the foam is locally sourced, depending on where you are. There's a lot of companies that actually manufacture foams. Here in Southern California, we were fortunate to have three companies, the biggest one being Atlas. So we have a good relationship with them. So the foam panels are delivered on site. Um, Let me just pause the video here real quick. So as you could see, the foundation is a regular concrete foundation. What's the step number one that's a little bit different is these rebars that are coming off the ground. So in order for the unit to be hard, the reason that the structures are so strong is because what we call a monolithic unit. What that means is it's the entire piece from top of the roof to the bottom of the foundation is one unit. So when the wind blows, the entire unit is being blown. When the earthquake hits, the entire unit shakes. There is no moving weak points, weak joints for the earthquake and or the fire or the wind to penetrate. So you'll see all these small rebars coming off the ground. They're 20 inches apart, 20 inches high. The foam bases, the base walls are cut just using hot wires. Cords the holes are made. This tape is to create separation from the foam to the concrete for moisture. And then the base of the wall we start building the base wall. The wall goes in. These are temporary nails that keep the seams alike or aligned. Uh, Foam glue is used to glue the pieces together, one piece at a time. And then the holes that you'll see with where they're holding the rebars are filled with sapscrete, and that will be the base of your entire structure. There's no limitation of how big or how small these structures can be. We have built custom homes, 15,000 square feet. We're currently, my wife and I are in process of building 3 ADUs, 560 square feet. These are some of the tools that we utilize to cut the foam walls in pieces. Best way I can describe it is it becomes a Lego. So the entire building goes through an engineering process, which is a computer program, also proprietary, that shows on a cut sheet what piece has to be glued and connected to which piece. In order for it to be, if you notice in this video that the pieces are separate, although it's one big wall, the pieces are different pieces, just like you would build a Lego. Is a good demonstration of the different pieces that make this structure. Literally, you can have arches, you can have a flat roof. A lot of new constructions are now utilizing their roof line as a rooftop deck. it is the material is that strong. Um, all the windows go in as a regular window, all the doors, all the fixtures go in as a regular doors and windows. So what I was talking about earlier as far as channeling the wiring and the plumbing, this is exactly what I meant. So for those of you who are contractors or are electricians, normally what you would do is you would either drill holes inside the 2x4s to run your piping, and or you would do an external uh, insulation on top of the face of the wall for most commercial units. This eliminates all the headache. You basically draw what your boxes are going to be and use a hot gun to channel out your desired plumbing, heating. This is a bathroom, so they have the heater pipe here. They have all the electrical work going up and down. This is an 8-inch drainage pipe that's being installed. So everything is installed inside of your walls. Um, and then the foam panels, the pieces that are cut that you see on the side, they'll go on top of it, and then they'll get glued in, and Sapscrete will be attached to it. Two ways to apply the saps. It's either through a pump and or manual. It's a quick drying uh, concrete, so which speeds up the process of the installation as well. Anything vertical, anything horizontal, roof, ceilings, floors, take a half inch of concrete top and bottom. So just imagine your structure, your house having 1 inch thick of concrete. Anything vertical, uh, exterior takes 1/4 inch, and any interior walls, 9 weight-bearing walls, take about 1/8 of an inch of sapscrete. So this gentleman here is applying it on the side. Again, no extra heavy equipment is needed. It dries just like a regular concrete. Let me pause the video here for a second. So, those of you that were in Altadena area, a lot of these houses were built in the 40s and the 50s and the 60s, which were much smaller houses. It all depends on all the current codes require any structure being built over 1,000 square feet to have solar system uh, built and also a sprinkler system for future fires. So it's unclear right now. I know Governor Newsom and Karen Bass, Mayor Bass has been talking about uh, s- uh, speeding the process of rebuilding. It's unclear if they're going to allow us to rebuild your house or the house that was lost exactly the way it was with the same exact square footage, or on a if we're lucky, they will allow us to maximize the area. So if you had a house that was 1,000 square feet, 3 bedroom, 1 bath, now it can be built into a 2,500 square foot mini mansion, right? So imagine the value of that of your property now after you build it using our technology. Um, a lot of people that I've been hearing on the news, they've had a hard time. They just don't have the means to rebuild their homes. Either they didn't have insurance or they just want to sell and move away. So our objective is to tell them to wait. Just hang tight, hold on. Don't sell your property. It will be a lot more valuable once you rebuild it. And if you choose to sell at that point, and or if you can afford a mortgage to live in a brand new house, a mini mansion, if you will. So, some of the finish again, the sky's the limit. You can have polished concrete floors, you can have polished concrete walls, um, any kind of a modern look. You can do a drop ceiling where you have your all your insulation and everything on it. This is a yoga studio that we built in Arizona. Um, so. Some of these modular units can be built offsite up to 400 square feet. A lot of people now would be able to build ADUs on your properties as well, so we can build a house and an ADU in addition to the property. This was a house that was built in Hawaii, so this is what I was talking about. If you notice the curvature of the front of the house, this is very easily achieved by our using our technology. It's literally just hot knife the circular foam and you put concrete on top of it. Um, Foam does not expand or contract, so unlike wood. So cold environments, hot environments. The first house was built 21 years ago, 2001, 24 years ago, which you have a video of in Arizona. It gets 120 degrees there, sandstorms. The house is as if it's a brand new house, still standing 24 years later. This is another custom home that was built in the mountains. Just like it looks like a regular house. Um, any kind of a roofing is not necessary. Shingles, tiles, metal roofing, anything you desire. You can leave it as raw foam, correction, raw sapscrete on top of the structure. We just waterproof it, and you can put your solar system, all your solar systems on top of it. Back in 2011, they built a VW dealership in Manila, Philippines. So not only Strata International has the ICC codes to build in all 50 states, they also have the rights to build in other countries, which they have built in China, Mexico, and they're in talks with Dubai and in Manila, Philippines. This was the finished product after the dealership was built. Uh, a lot of businesses were lost, burnt down in during the fire, so we can rebuild commercial units, strip malls. We are allowed to go 300, I'm sorry, 30 linear feet by 30 linear feet without having any kind of a post and or a beam in that structure. So you can literally have a 900 square foot open space. If we do require a beam, uh, we make it from foam and we just slide it in on the roof, on the ceiling side, and we avoid putting posts. If we have to put posts in, if engineering calls for a post, same exact thing. The post is made out of foam, sapscrete, and that justifies the integrity of the building. This was a 200,000 square foot cannabis facility that they had built in Colorado, still standing today. These temporary posts are used. The metal and the wood are used to. That's a good indication of a post I was talking about. They're used to hold the ceiling and foam together until the glue is 100% dry, so there's no sagging. So these are all temporary posts that get removed after the construction is done. I went too fast. In order for it took almost over $4 million, and it took almost 8 years for SAPS for Strata International to be able to get certification through ICC. All these tests were done years and years and years ago. In order for it to achieve the fireproofing and the zero spread rating that they received, is they had to build a structure, put 5,000 pounds of weight on the ceiling and on the roof, and burn have a direct burn for 15-minute burn underneath the roof line. So this was right here, July 20, 2024. 5,000 pounds of sand barrels are being picked up and putting on a structure, being placed in a structure. So 15 minutes is a time lapse. So you notice that they just burn a piece of furniture, extreme fire heat signature underneath that corner. Pardon the quality of the video. They didn't have the technology as we do now to have. We're working on redoing all these videos. Just fast forward a little bit. Okay, still burning. 15 minutes, it's passed by. So as you can notice that the roof did not collapse. and the structure is still standing. And you'll notice now the damage that was done to the structure. Very, very minimum. The only place that is affected when there's a direct fire applied for 15 minutes is the corner that the structure that the fire was set. So you'll notice there's a crack line that the concrete cracked, and I'll explain to you why. The foam behind the concrete melted, but only the section that the heat was directly on it. The rest of the structure is untouched. So they will use a diamond cutter to cut lines, and they'll start breaking the concrete. You'll see now where the foam once was, it is now hollow, but the structure still stands because of the unit being a monolithic unit. So the foam has melted just like a candle would, which you see. There it is. See all the melt points? All this was exactly where the fire was that's melted. And look over here. All this section that there was no direct fire, it was not affected because the fire did not spread. It was only that one corner. It's fairly easy fix, believe it or not. What you would do is you would replace this corner foam, replace it with new foam. You would glue it in and wait until the glue dries, and then you apply it with Sapscrete and finish the house. The fire damage is complete. That's how intense the heat was. A lot of houses were the fire insurance was canceled by the insurance companies. I was one of those that State Farm canceled my policy. So moving forward, if the house is built with our technology, the insurance companies will have no choice but to insure the property. Added value is the earthquake rating. So this house will never, the insurance company will never ever be able to uh, pay out a claim, so it's a win-win situation for them. 7,000 pounds of truck going over the foam and the sapscrete structure, um, and no effect. So in order for the structure to be certified under the earthquake and the wind resistance, it's placed in a computer model, and it goes through rigorous models, and the weak points are identified. So if there is a weak point in any of the corners, then we're able to string that corner for it to be a strong unit. We can build up to four-story condominiums. The limitations is 40 feet vertical, or three stories, 12 foot ceilings. Lapse photography of how quickly the structure comes up, and how easily you won't see any cranes and or forklifts, just ladders and scissor lifts is what it takes. The biggest piece is 25 pounds. My wife carried one over her head. Two people can carry it with ease. Any kind of a shape, you want flat roof, you want traditional corners, you want a round roof, it could be achieved. We're waiting to hear back from the city engineering's office to see what they will be able to allow us to build. The best case scenario will be for them to allow us to build a maximum square footage on the current square footage of the property, which will be very, very valuable for those of you that have lost your homes. Type 2, 1.5 pound foam, 6 to 8 inches thickness, depending on what section of the house is being built. Same foam material as your igloo. Any kind of a finishing, again, you can go as modern as you want. Big glass windows on top, big glass doors. Literally, your imagination is the limit. This demonstrates again the electrical channeling. The drop ceiling is a standard drop ceiling. The only difference will be that the second this bottom floor will also be a foam and a sapscrete with a thinner layer. Any kind of a damage, just like the fire damage. Let's say you have a leaking a pipe, identify the leak, you break that section off, you replace the leak, the broken pipe, you put the foam back on, you put a sapscrete back on, and then you just paint it as if nothing has happened. $75. These are Arizona prices. California will be a bit more expensive. Again, we talked about cold climates. Foam does not expand or contract, so it's ideal for mountain, cold states. Some of the final phases. This is very interesting. It's a 3 minute long video. Um, this demonstrates the different finishes that people have designed in the past, exterior and or interior. Um, Keep in mind the more detail oriented your project becomes, the lengthier it takes, the longer it takes to complete the project. So depending on again, if you want to build a house exactly the same size that you had it before, this is the house that was built 24 years ago. The old desert look, no cracking, no discoloring of the sapscrete, still standing. My wife just went out there last week and had an opportunity to visit it. The modern look, this product is ideal for ADUs, quick, fast, cheap, able to subsidize some incomes if you have the property, if you have the space in the back to build an ADU. As I mentioned earlier before, my wife and I are building 3 ADUs on our properties as we speak. Um, Bring in, 1,000, 1,500, $2,000, depending on the area, depending on the space you have. We can build two-story. We cannot exceed 800, I believe it's 860 square feet for the ADU. Um, People getting pretty creative here. If you look at the ceiling here, it's all foam cut, wine cellar. Everything you see here, the countertop, everything you see on these videos is made from the base, which is the foam. Um, Patio covers, barbecue islands, um, furniture, all could be done using foam and sapscrete, and it'll last for many, 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 many years. This is the interior of the house that was built 24 years ago. I believe it's in Prescott, Arizona. Um, in order for you to hang anything from the ceilings or the cabinetry, you have to use a toggle bolt. You can't just screw into the concrete, just like a concrete wall you would. Depending on the toggle bolt you use, it could bear 1,600 pounds of pressure per square inch. So big TVs, big light fixtures, everything can be hung by toggle bolts. Staircases, any shape, round, circular, rectangular. This is the same Hawaii house from the interior looking outside. You could just see the concave look, the big living space look that it creates by giving you more room using a circular shape. A lot of modern houses now use big, tall windows, which is restricted to current. If you're using a regular housing structure, you're limited to the size of windows you can use. You need reinforcement, but with our technology, that is not a requirement. Um, that is our presentation. Here's our website, guys. TajInnovations.com, Taj Investments, or invest with Taj at gmail.com, or sorry, investwithtaj.com. Um, feel free to get on there, log in, give us your information, any questions you may have. One of our representatives will call you directly, um, and we'll try to be able to answer any and all your questions. Um, how are we doing on time here? We got 20 minutes. I'm gonna open up let me open this up real quick. Mute. I had to ask my wife to come help me. Okay. Um, you guys could unmute yourselves and ask any questions that you might have. No? Um, meeting.
Okay, I couldn't log in. Just type in chat and we'll respond.
Yeah, I guess I'm having a little bit of technical issues here, guys. If you guys want to type in your questions, we'll be able to respond to your questions as we go. Okay.
Read the chat questions and answer that.
Yeah, I see it right here. Okay. All right. I'm just gonna answer some of these questions. How are heavier how are heavier cabinets or handlers attached? Toggle bolts. We talked about that. Um, just depending on the weight of the what you're using, what you're hanging, um, we use the same appropriate size toggle bolt for that. Wade is asking the R75 insulation achieved by adding insulation or just by using this material. The foam is an extremely good insulator. So nothing is added. It just basically your material is foam and a sap screed that goes on interior and exterior of your walls. Again, anything vertical exterior is 1/4 inches of sap screed. Anything interior walls non-weight bearing is 1/8 of an inch, which is fairly thin, and anything horizontal, um, uh, roof, ceiling, any kind of a flooring will be 1/2 an inch top and bottom, so 1 inch of concrete. Um, Jack, yeah. So we are using, there's a few projects that were built before Taj joined Strata in California, San Diego, San Francisco. We just literally just poured our concrete for our ADU project located in Adelanto, California. So in about 3 weeks' time, once the foundation is fully cured and dried, we'll be able to put the walls up. As a matter of fact, we're on a call today. They should be shipping us our material here next week or so. And that'll be our model for you guys to go see it, touch it, feel it. We have a training center here in Santa Clarita where we certify contractors and we allow them to use our product. It's a 3-day training program. After the second day of class, they get to build a small structure. We have one built in our Santa Clarita office. Those of you who are interested to see what it looks like, what it feels like, you guys are more than welcome to make an appointment and come down and take I believe it's a 40 square foot small office that we have built. in our office, in our warehouse. The toggle bolts attach themselves to the Sapscrete exterior walls or interior walls. Um, that was a question. It um, yes, 800 square feet. I was quoting the Adelanto regulations. Um, I'm not sure about Los Angeles. You might be right, Rudy. It might be 1,200 square feet for detached units, but regardless, it could be if the city, depending on what the city will allow us to do when we're rebuilding these houses, if the maximum limitation is 1,200 square feet detached ADU, we'll build that too. It'll be part of the build. So the price of the construction, let me talk about that real quick. So it's about 30% cheaper compared to a traditional stick-built house. This was based on last month's numbers. Now I hear on the radio today on KNX that contractors are already crying about, no disrespect if there's contractors here, that the contractors are complaining about the shortage of wood and building material, shortage of labor, and the square footage of these rebuilds could exceed $500 a square feet. Our prices are set. Our objective is to be able to help rebuild these communities. And we're not going to be price gouging or raising our prices just because there is a shortage of building material. The Sapscrete is mixed and put together in Phoenix, Arizona, 6 hours away, so it's very easy. Like currently, we're running a production of 2,050 or 100 pound bags per day, that's just an 8 hour period, which could be increased without an issue. And as I mentioned earlier, all the foam panels are locally sourced, so we'll have no issues with material. The resin comes from, I believe it's in Pennsylvania, so that's all they do. They make the resin, and the foam glue. It's easily available, so that's easy to find. Um, Pricing. Yeah. So in order for us to give a price, we have to know what the structure is going to look like. How many bedrooms? How big are the rooms? How big is the footprint? How high are we going? 2 stories, 3 stories? Because all of this makes a difference of design and engineering portion. So that calls for it may be a vertical wall that's interior that's weight bearing that calls for a quarter inch thickness of sapscrete rather than the wall that's attached to it that's a non-weight bearing that only calls for 1/8 of an inch. So it's typically speaking, generally speaking, it's about 30% cheaper than traditional build. But in order for us to give you an accurate price, we have to run the model and we have to get some engineering. We do it all, A through Z. We have architects in-house in Arizona in the same office. We have engineers that approve these builds. We do plumbing, electrical, mechanical, Title 24 that's required in California. So everything is done under the same roof with one group. So you don't have to take your designs from an architect to the plumber to the engineer. So everything is done for you as a package deal, start to finish, including the design portion of it. Um, Nasreen, thank you for helping me answer some of these questions. Um, Saving on the labor, yes. So it's not only the 30% of the material, the savings is only on the material. Keep in mind the speed that you build these structures is also uh, 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 has a variable of the cost of the project. The faster you build it, the cheaper it's going to be. The sooner the contractor can finish, the sooner you can move in. So it's faster, cheaper, uh, cost effective. It's and has all the earthquake proof and a wind proof and a fireproof um, benefits to it. Yes. So a homeowner can pull a permit as an owner built. But a GC, a contractor, has to overlook the project. All the trades, plumbing, plumbers, electricians, anybody working on a house, people that are doing a foundation, they do have to be certified, or they have to be licensed and bonded. So, but you can pull the permits as an owner builder. Some of the videos that I showed you, believe it or not, um, homeowners built it themselves. We had a few people in Texas that build their sheds and their ADUs just on their own. So depending on the size of the structure, you don't need permits to build on your property. So uh, to be a certified contractor, we hold classes here in Santa Clarita. It costs $5,500. You certify up to three people. So a lot of general contractors bring their foremans with them. So it's a 3 day program. We start at 9 o'clock in the morning until 5:30 in the afternoon. The first day and a half is just classroom, getting familiar with the tools, with the material, and the towards the end of the first day and the second day, hands-on. You guys will the contractors will build a structure. Will actually get the wire cutters and they will cut the wires. They will mix the concrete or the sapscrete. They will apply it, and then so it's we recommend. Uh, this is like nothing like any of the contractors I've ever worked with. It's extremely fast. Any contractor that has ever seen, heard, and been through our training program is is just so impressed, so impressed. Our main objective is to be able to convince the senators and the governors that building houses from wood and stick, it's no longer sustainable with the environment that we're going through right now, with all the fires and the winds and the hurricanes. We're talking to a group in Oklahoma City that has some houses in a tornado alley. So we're trying to rebuild some of those houses using our product. So we're making a huge wave again. Our objective at the beginning, my wife and I, was to have an alternative construction method for the unhoused for the Olympic that's coming up, the NFL the championship that's coming here, the World Cup that's coming here on the 2026. So our objective was to pitch this to the city of Los Angeles and to build for affordable housing for the unhoused. And here we are today. So, all right, couple more minutes, couple more questions. Let's see here. Tisha, certification is 3 days. So we have set dates that we get contractors in. It's 3 days of class. Normally we run Tuesday to Thursday, but depending on the demand, we'll be getting a lot of people inquiring. So we might be running 2 classes a week, trying to certify. Um, the objective will be to be able to certify as many contractors as we possibly can to be able to, for them to be able to go out there and do their own projects and get their own leads. So um, that will be the objective. I know Nesrin's answering the questions as we're going down. Um, okay. Yeah, thank you so much. Again, it's not a new concept. It's been around for 25 years. Um, being here in Los Angeles in California, it's the most difficult jurisdiction for any kind of a housing. It takes forever to get permits. So um, maybe this will allow all the red tape and all the officials to be able to understand that it shouldn't take uh, 10 months to get permits. The deal we have with City of Adelanto, as soon as they saw this product, as soon as they saw how amazing it is and how innovative it is, they literally gave us uh, our permits in 2 weeks. Very minor red mark corrections. All the questions were answered by the engineers, and we got the green light to pour the concrete and start building, and we did just that. So we are in talks with some really, really big track home builders that, as a matter of fact, we just signed a deal with them. Our partners in Arizona signed a deal with KB Homes to be able to do a seven-house pilot program, track housing using this technology. And they're going to be doing their testing, and their engineers are going to be on site to see if this is the way for them to be able to build their track housing moving forward. So let's see. Did I answer everybody's questions? Anybody else has any questions that wants to put it in the chat? Sorry if I wasn't able to unmute you guys. This was my first. I've been on a lot of Zoom meetings, but this was my first time as the host. So apologize for that. Thank you, Nesreen. Appreciate your help. Thank you, everybody, for joining today. Hope to hear from you guys again. Feel free to go on our website and to register, give us your information, pass this information along. If we get more inquiries, we'll do. Our objective is to do one or two of these a month. So we just want to get the word out. And if you do know people that have lost their house, that do not have fire insurance, and that don't have the means to rebuild, please tell them to hold on. Don't sell. Don't sell your property for pennies on a dollar. We'll be able to build it, rebuild it, bigger, nicer, and at that point you can make a decision of keeping and selling it. So on that note, you're very welcome. Thank you very much for your time, you guys. Have a wonderful day. Again, sorry for those of you that have lost your houses and your properties. Just rest assured that we'll get through this. Okay, good night, everybody.